Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another fun episode of Career Success with Adrian and Yen.
Hi, everyone. Happy Friday.
I look at the wrong camera. There. Okay, sorry.
Alamak.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another fun episode of Career Success with Adrian and Yen. This is another wonderful Friday where we share with you our career thoughts and crazy ideas.
Happy Friday, everyone.
I am Adrian and I'm the CEO and founder of Career Agility International, and I want to thank every one of you for tuning in either to our LinkedIn Live or Spotify. We haven't been posting up on YouTube that much, but we'll try to do it. And for those of you who don't know, this is Yen, our super coach and executive director and co-founder. And what other job titles are there?
I don't know. Mother of Dragons.
Mother of Dragons, yes. 3 dragons, yes. Yeah. And I think today we have a very interesting episode because we're going to talk about something that a client came up to me last week and told me. He said, I don't mind my boss, but I've got very toxic colleagues.
Yeah, you're not the only one. We hear this all the time about individuals who are frenemies, individuals who are really not pulling their weight, colleagues who are very nice on the surface but are deliberately sabotaging your tasks. So we've heard all sorts of stories.
Yeah.
So today we want to talk about what you can do about it. But we can't really do much.
I know. That's why I wanted to ask you a question. I wanted to get your opinion on this. Okay. When I was in junior college, I still remember a JC tutor of mine. She once said, cherish your friends in school because they are the friends that you have. When you go to work, you'll never have a friend and a colleague. You cannot trust them.
That's so cynical.
Ever. Because no matter what it is, you can be friends with them after they leave the company. But if you're in the same office, you're never friends with them. What are your thoughts?
She's so cynical and sad, but also probably 90% correct. But I feel like it's not always the case because, again, we've had clients who report that they come from very nice environments. And so I guess if you're fortunate enough to be able to be part of a collegiate type team-oriented environment, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Because I think it depends on the leader.
Yeah.
And if you're not, as most of us are not, then there might be some strategies that we provide a lot of therapy, don't we? Like therapy to our clients when they come to us with their issues at work.
That's why today we wanted to share with you 5 types of colleagues to avoid.
The thing is, we can't avoid them entirely, but by recognizing those behaviors, we can preempt. We can avoid where possible, or we can do enough that we don't get hurt. So there are strategies around it. And again, context matters. If you are in a very challenging, toxic environment, please reach out to us. We do run career clinics for the one-off sessions. But if your situation is a bit more challenging, come have a chat anyway so that we can see what programs suit you.
That's true. The first person we want to tell you to avoid is the constant complainer.
Yeah, you don't want to be seen hanging around a constant complainer because then other people will think that you share the same complaints, or worse, you are also a complainer.
Yeah, the negative Nellies, everything. For instance, why does this new system need to be rolled out? The old system was working fine. Everything was okay. What does HQ know about our business?
Yeah, or why are we going for this training again? Every time they would start something new and then it would just die a natural death. Why bother? Anymore?
So many
Actually,
more,
there's
no?
so many more.
Like,
why did they buy this brand of coffee?
why the meeting has to start at 8:30?
What else? Why did they remove all the pantry items?
Why did they not remove the pantry items?
Why did they use plastic cutlery?
Why did they not use
Why
plastic
are we not
cutlery?
recycling? Oh gosh.
So you see,
where do we stop?
And I had this client, this colleague once. Everything, he would complain about everything.
Yes. Yeah.
And it got quite annoying for everyone. But he was just there for so long that everyone kind of got used to it.
Legacy.
It was a legacy guy,
hire.
old guy. And we all recognized that he wasn't complaining about office and work. He just led a miserable existence in life.
Or perhaps he did not realize that making conversation does not require you to have a negative statement to start with.
But the worst
Maybe
thing
he
is,
just wanted to. Maybe he was just trying to, be controversial
I
so
don't know.
that people would
But
engage?
that's his problem, right? For us, we
He's
were
not going to make any friends.
we avoided him also because he kind of had halitosis. But
Ooh, yuck.
but we true story hashtag, and he was very negative. The dangerous thing about hanging around negative people, you're right, you get associated with it even though you're not, and I think that's one of the things. Guilt by association.
Yes, so don't be seen going to lunch with this person too often, unless you're in a big group, maybe. If you've got no choice but to work on a project, try and be as professional as possible, stick to the fact or the facts. Try not to engage with this individual because everything that they have to say is going to have a negative slant. I had a colleague who was the kind who would complain about her workload a lot. Oh my god, this project is so stressful, and then the next second she's like, oh my god, it's so stressful, I got so much on my plate. Sometimes they're doing it to virtue signal, or sometimes they're doing and you wonder why they do it, but it's part of her visibility strategy that did not work. It did not work. Because all we notice is like, oh, she said it again.
Yeah. In fact, I would say that if you are the sort who's a bit more vocal about things that don't go right, shut up.
Yeah.
Just shut up. Sometimes it's better to stay quiet and let people think you're stupid than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. Okay, so just sit down. Don't be that colleague.
But we're not saying don't complain because you still need to advocate for yourself. Just don't constantly complain.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to create a reputation for being the negative Nelly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, Nelly's not a bad name, but I'm sorry.
There's this thing that we used to call, it's called to BMW, bitch, moon and wine. Yeah.
No.
So don't BMW, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Next. The next is have you ever encountered a person who, when anything goes wrong,
it's someone else's fault.
It's someone else's fault.
Yes, and this person is so toxic, and I would dare to use the word narcissistic. This person is narcissistic. It's almost like, and the thing is, this person is in charge. The buck stops with her. But when something didn't happen, it's her assistant that didn't do it. The junior colleague didn't do it. Or this so-and-so should have known better. Come on. Yes. You're expecting someone to read your mind.
I had a boss like that once.
That's impossible to please.
Yeah. There's a term for it. We call it the blame thrower.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, someone goes under the bus or someone else's fault.
The thing is, if someone really did not do something because it was incompetence, then you should defend your territory and say, we were waiting on so and so to give us the facts so that we could continue with the ABC. But in this instance, it's like, gosh, this person should have known better. Hang on, that's wrong. Yeah.
And I think a lot of times it's ego.
Possibly, or that this person can do no wrong. Because I'm perfect in every way, like Mary Poppins.
Just a spoonful of sugar.
No, let's not go there. No. So,
but I find almost every organization has one of those.
I think a lot of people are not constantly blaming others. Most of us would try to protect our turf, so to speak, because if anything's going to be, if the big boss is going to scold and say, why is it like this? People are all going to either, protect their turf and say, well, it's because we were waiting on this and there was a bottleneck over there. I think that's okay. That's okay if you can keep it factual. How do you avoid a flamethrower?
Move office.
No. I think it's wise to document everything. So you've got your receipts, you've heard this term with all the debates that's happening, and when someone challenges you with some sort of made up accusation, you want to have receipts that can prove that no, that wasn't me, it was someone else. So you're going to defend yourself against.
You have to stand your ground because blame throwers are basically bullies, and and the more you show yourself to be malleable and bullyable, a lot of times you end up being more of a victim.
It's difficult though if your boss has favoritism and the flamethrower is the favorite son.
Yes.
And that could be challenging. Again, we are going down the uncharted contexts, important territory. So if you have those situations and you need some ideas on how to manage yourself and others better, let us know.
I think it's important to recognize the blame thrower and develop strategies around it. But the third type of employee / colleague / person to avoid is the gossiper.
Yeah, you want to avoid that because gossip sometimes has a kernel of truth, but most of the time it's just sensationalized news. And you were telling the story of a helpless victim who happened to walk into the pantry, and there are two people there gossiping at the water cooler, and they turn to you and go like, "Adrian, you agree, right? This other thing is not working." And you just go, "Haha, yeah," and then you did not have any context. And then the next day they go, yeah, you should ask Adrian, he agrees with us. It's so dangerous, especially if the gossips are, toxic.
Yes.
Watch out.
And it's sometimes it's political mileage. They just want to get it. And
don't believe
I think
believe everything.
One of the most toxic gossiper types are those who try to elicit your real thoughts by making a position which they don't believe in. And they go like, actually this Susan's style very annoying, right?
They just want...
Yeah, well, then you go, yeah. And then
it's entrapment.
It's entrapment, basically.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So that's why...
I'm just thinking of something more petty. You know how you want to get even with someone? So instead of, confronting the person because the person hurt you, you go spread some news about, the person having some very embarrassing medical condition.
No.
Just being...
What? Forge medical reports and put it on a photostatic machine. It's like, you mean he's got syphilis?
or a rash. Okay, sorry folks. No, don't do that.
No,
don't do that. Don't do that. Just slash their tires. Okay, I'm just reading all the Reddits and I'm getting fed. Very fun drama.
But gossiping.
No, don't.
I think one more thing is besides avoiding gossipers is don't be a gossip yourself.
Yes.
Don't be a gossiper yourself.
It's not worth it because if it comes back to you, and you are going to be interrogated and they find out that you were the source, that's going to be or party to a gossip that's perhaps very, very bad. Don't do it.
In fact, I find that if you come across a juicy piece of information,
just keep it to
I think
yourself.
it's more powerful to keep it to yourself than you can pass it to someone else.
Yeah.
Then you have something that no one else does.
Yeah.
So things like
no, don't give examples.
I'll give one example. Okay. So actually, there was one time a colleague of mine was just having a lunch with a headhunter friend of his. Okay.
Oh, I see.
And I saw it and I was okay, fine.
Yeah.
Another colleague saw it.
And thought that he was gunning for an external job.
Yes,
like
correct. And started spreading the news and
potential
everything.
Flight risk.
Yeah, correct.
Did you hear? Adrian was lunching with this guy.
So it's like,
he's a headhunter. He's quitting. You see whether or not he could clean his table. Oh, his table is so clean. That confirms, confirmation bias. So he must be looking out.
For me, if I see information like that, I'll shut up. If I saw my boss with another woman at dinner, I will just shut up. And blackmail him later. I think blackmail is more effective than gossiping. So you learned that here on Career Success with Adrian here.
Let's not go there. We've seen some very interesting things. I think don't spread the rumors.
No, we're just kidding. I had this colleague in Shell. He was such a political animal.
Yeah, there are those political types. You want to avoid those ones. Yeah, they seem to be really well versed in the art of just managing politics.
No, but this is bad politics.
Really?
Yeah.
But when you observed, is there anything?
No, he's just malicious. So it's like, for instance, we are in different departments, okay? And after I skipped my lunch and I did all my running about, and I was in the staff canteen at 2:00 having my lunch. Okay, finally got down, sat down to my lunch at 2:00.
He spread the news that you were having a long lunch?
Yeah, then my MD was there, okay, sitting down. He just walked past and said, "Why you doing long lunch, huh?"
Oh, yuck. What a bitch.
Yeah, correct.
Wow.
It's a
wow.
And if I was vying with him in the same department, we're not in the same department, he just had to say it.
He just had to say it so that he one-ups on you, or he pulls you down a peg.
Correct. So
That's horrible.
I didn't bother about it, but I was just thinking, what a low life.
Was that necessary?
It was not necessary. So
Entirely.
we see people who behave like that, and it's quite unfortunate. And some of them are very cunning. as Blackadder says, as cunning as a fox who's been appointed the professor of cunning at Oxford
I
University.
like Blackadder. It's an ancient comedy, which did not end as a comedy.
Yeah, it was so
but
sad. The ending was
The
tough.
ending was really bad.
The Blackadder is
check it out.
it's a venomous creature.
Rowan Atkinson, one of his best roles.
Yeah, and I think for politicians, unless you want to jump in the fray and outfox the politician, which sometimes could work, but most of the time, if you're normal like you and I think just let them dig a hole.
So my recommendation, if you are in a highly political environment, is to always ensure that your foundation is stable. That foundation is about meeting your KPIs, exceeding where possible, and in fact, grow sufficient sponsors to the point that if someone says anything negative about you, you have your campaign managers that go, no, that's not true, but someone else is defending you instead of you having to defend yourself, which feels really defensive.
Get your allies, build relationships, get a sponsor or more sponsors.
But the foundation has to be stable, and the foundation is the work. So the KPIs need to be very, 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 very strong.
Correct.
Yeah. So if your work is shaky, it could be tough. Just make sure you hunker down, get the work done.
Yeah.
Because if the work is done, it doesn't matter that you're taking 2-hour lunches, because you're the top biller. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Which I was at the time. So
Good for you.
Thank you for shit. But it just surprised me because he was a classmate of mine in NUS.
So?
And
The friends you make are supposed to be for JC
friends.
and before.
And that's why I go back to what my dear JC lecturer said. They're only friends in school, but everything else is
I
fair
like to
game.
think that we all come back full circle after all the fighting and the bitching and the posturing.
I don't think so. I still don't.
At about 50, 55,
I still don't like him. I
become
still see him
friends.
around. I still don't like him.
Okay.
You know him. I'm gonna mention it to you later.
Carry long
I
grudges.
do. I got this
Yeah.
black book over here. Which
Yeah.
this
And then
people who have
another voodoo doll. And then
voodoo dolls.
I like to say that when people offend you in any way, karma's a bitch, it's gonna come back.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Because if you drive recklessly, eventually you're gonna crash. Good luck to them. Yeah. Anyway, last
No,
type
especially when
of
I
profile.
cut their brake cables. And
Let's
anyway,
not go there. You've just outed yourself, my friend. If tomorrow anything happens, he's gonna point. Okay.
what's the last group? of
The
people?
last group, the energy vampires. The people that somehow when they enter a room, all the energy just drops. These people are avoid them. So if you have them on your team, get the work done, get out of there. Do not hang around with them. Don't socialize with them.
Yeah,
Because they
some
just
people
take
just
all the energy.
drain your energy away.
And I think it's sometimes not malicious.
Not malicious, they
It's
just-
not intentional. It just maybe you don't vibe. It's okay to not be friends.
Do you watch this
It's okay.
comedy?
Yes,
What We Do in the Shadows?
Yeah.
by
The one with
Taika Waititi.
Tilda Swinton.
Yeah.
And
One of the vampires is
Yeah.
an energy vampire. This guy, he's
Yeah.
hilarious. He just goes around sucking people's energy.
he makes statements that people go, oh, and everyone just goes, oh,
Yeah, he just annoys people, and it gets.
yeah.
I do find there's some people who actually are energy vampires in the office. They do get off on draining people's energy.
I don't think it's intentional though.
It's not intentional. They just
Sometimes they do it by
Like,
certain behavior. But there are
ah."
certain behaviors that just also drain. Behaviors like all the ones that we've highlighted, like the gossip person or whatever, they come in and you're like, okay, the energy is going to change. And then the attention-seeking ones as well. It's me! I'm here! Bright spark! Don't worry, I'm here to solve all your problems.
Oh, that's me.
And then I'm like,
I'm the attention seeker.
I'm
so
going to
that's
look for
okay.
my brain.
I think what you said made a lot of sense, okay? As a general strategy, no matter how much politics, how much gossiping, how much toxicity in the office, if you are standing firm on the ground of good performance above your KPI, you know your staff, you're doing well, you got good sponsors, and you got a good career strategy in play, I think that makes
that's your armor.
You put on so much armor.
That's your
it's-
armor.
that
I
it
think
makes you impervious.
the arrows deflect, the
Yeah.
knives can't get through.
Yeah.
Some of the best sponsors are the customers. So
that's true.
if you're in a client-facing role and your customers love you,
Yeah.
I think it's good. So
Yeah.
maintain those relationships.
Yeah, that's your currency.
Yeah.
So as we traverse our journey of employment and along our career, among the
What goes round
tumultuous
comes round.
tides of good and bad fortune, I think what's most important is to take a long view on your career.
Yes.
Manage your career well, avoid the colleagues that are toxic. And if you have any problems, just drop us an email.
I can hear a listener asking the question already. What if one of those is my boss and I can't avoid? I can hear it already. Come talk to us.
Come talk to us, yes.
Yeah.
So
Let's take it offline.
Yes. In the meantime, have a good one ahead, and I hope you had fun with this session. A lot of the stories we tell you here are true.
Happy weekend, everyone.
And have a good one.
Decompress.
Yes. Keep calm and carry on.